Right. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? Tottenham are playing the K-League All-Stars, or Team K-League, I think is the right way to say the team. Let me just see if the team loses out. That's what I was kind of waiting for. Not quite yet. Okay. Morning, lads. Good morning, I think is the right way to say. Let's go. Archie Parker's made it on time. I've got Austin Sheen in the chat. Sammy in the chat. How are we doing, guys? I'm going to be live on here until pretty much the game starts, and then I'm going to do a live watch-along on TikTok. So come and join me for that. If you're watching this after the stream, Spurs would have obviously already played K-League. The Team K-League, so you'll know the result. There'll be a video on the channel tomorrow. A live stream actually kind of breaking down that, so stick around tomorrow for that. And again, we're going to be talking about a lot of transfer stuff in this video, so stick around for that if you're watching this while the game has already happened, so don't go anywhere. Good morning, everybody. Stephen McCabe, Gary Hunter, he's got his coffee this morning. I've got my coffee this morning as well. A little bit earlier today, lads. Obviously got a game on. Is it any way to dual cast? What, as in if I live streamed on TikTok and on YouTube? Potentially. I think there is, but it's something I've looked at, sort of, kind of, but not haven't really looked into it properly. I just wanted to say, lads, as well, before we get into things, you might get a couple of ads during this stream because I've actually been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. And again, hopefully that's all right with you guys. If you do, thank you. I just want to say thank you, really. I kind of wanted to take that moment to sort of say thank you for helping me grow this channel and be able to kind of do this for a living, really. And that kind of starts now. So thank you all very much for watching the videos and subscribing. I massively appreciate all of you guys that come in here every day and chat with me and watch the videos and like and subscribe, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on YouTube here, whether you listen to the podcast, whether you interact with me on Twitter. You know, the last kind of few months have been amazing, really, for me. Like, I've kind of taken the jump to try and do this full time, try and figure it out and make it work along the way, and I couldn't have done that without you guys. So thank you all very, very much. Hopefully, if you do get the ads, they're not too much of a disturbance to you watching this. I massively, massively appreciate all of your guys' support. So thank you very, very much. We're closing in on 2,000 subscribers. My goal was to get to 2,000 subscribers before the start of the Spurs' first game against Leicester. But we're nearly there, lads. We're on 1.7k. Any new viewers in the stream, or who, if you're watching this afterwards, please subscribe. It makes a massive difference to being able to get the content pushed out. I massively appreciate all of your guys' support. And we're nearly there. If you want to head over to the YouTube channel, obviously, this is kind of what you can expect. We did a video yesterday ranking every club's best wonder kid. I'm really proud of this video. It was a bit of a quick turnaround. It's just a tier list, but I got it out very quickly. We do these kind of breakdowns of the games, which I'm going to be doing throughout the season as well. And we've got some other great stuff on here as well. Also, quick little plug. I'm just waiting to see. I'm kind of buying time before the team gets announced, and we can talk about that. You can follow me on TikTok and follow the second account on TikTok as well. So, yeah, guys, honestly, thank you very, very much. And give me a follow on Twitter as well. Thank you all so much for watching and kind of getting involved with the streams, etc. So thank you very, very much, guys. I massively appreciate that. You can, I think, if you want to. I'm not necessarily asking you to, but if you really want to get a question across, I believe you can now super chat in the chat as well. If you really want to ask a question and help me out, that would be appreciated. But again, you don't have to. Feel free to do whatever you want, guys. But yeah, I massively appreciate all your support. Enough of that soppy nonsense. Right, let's get into it then. So the time currently is a few minutes before 11. The game kicks off at 12. It doesn't look like Spurs have put the team out yet. We are going to go through, when the team does get announced, we are going to go through what that could look like. That's kind of my predicted 11. Whether that is actually the 11, we shall see what happens there. I think there actually might be some more changes than this because a lot of these players kind of played into the second half. We shall wait and see on that. But first, let's go into some transfer bits because obviously there's going to be people that are watching this after the game's happened, and we can save talking about the game to the end, really. And like I said, will be a live watch along on TikTok anyway, so you can come and join me over there once this stream has finished. What are we talking about today then? There was a brilliant interview with Jamie Donnelly conducted by Alistair Gold that I want to touch on. I want to talk about Tottenham's priority to sign a forward. I want to talk about some tactical tweaks for Spurs going into next season. And again, we can sort of talk about this on the tactics board here. That was something that Alistair Gold put out yesterday. I also want to talk about the reception that Spurs players have got in Korea, because there's a very, very funny video that is doing the rounds on Twitter at the moment. I want to talk about Will Lancashire. I want to talk about Iago Santiago as well. And I also want to talk about the latest on Emerson Royale. And there was some good Heung-Min song quotes on Gray and Bergville. And yes, I also want to talk about Conor Gallagher. Stephen McCabe said that in the chat. Again, get your comments in the chat. You can get your super chats in as well if you want to. And we can have a chat about things. So, yeah, let's crack on. Let's actually start with that then, shall we? Should we start with Conor Gallagher? Because Atletico Madrid have made an approach to sign Conor Gallagher, who Tottenham have long admired. However, Spurs' immediate priority is to sign a forward, according to Gary Jacob. There was also some quotes from... So, the latest, I believe, from Fabrizio on Gallagher, bear with me, let's pull that up, is that basically a deal has kind of been agreed and it's just up to the player now. I believe there was an update on that this morning. Yep, here we go. Atletico Madrid and Chelsea are on the verge of reaching an agreement for Conor Gallagher after talks in the last 24 hours. Story revealed on Tuesday morning. Talks accelerated and €35 million to €40 million package has almost been agreed. Small details to sort. So it looks like that's going to happen. But according to Lyle Thomas from Sky Sports, they very much still expect... Chelsea very much is still expecting Tottenham to make a bid. I would be surprised if that does happen. However, it kind of does go along a little bit with the wording kind of coming out from Spurs that the targets, who were the targets at the start of the window, are still there for Spurs. Sorry, I didn't get up the tweet for you. Justin, Chelsea still expect Tottenham to make a bid for Conor Gallagher. This was this morning, I believe. However, Spurs are concentrating first on getting players out of their squad. And again, like we've talked about the sell to buy thing before. I don't think that's necessarily down to do with the finances. Sorry, if you can see me looking at my phone, I'm just trying to sort something out quickly. I don't think that's to do with the finances. I think it's more just to do with squad building and squad kind of easing that squad bloating a little bit, getting these players out the door, continuing that rebuild. Atletico Madrid are understood to be getting closer on agreeing a valuation for Conor Gallagher, but Chelsea but still have a lot of work to do. There's still no agreement with the player. Chat, this ain't happening, is it? This is not happening. This isn't happening, Conor Gallagher to Spurs. I don't believe that. But if they still anticipate Tottenham making a bid, maybe Spurs will. There's no way that if we go back to that tweet from Fabrizio, there is no way that Chelsea would let Tottenham have Conor Gallagher for that fee of 35 to 40 million euros. It would be more than that for Tottenham. You just know that. Yeah, you just know that is the case. So Gallagher is one maybe to keep an eye on, but let's just have a quick look on Spurs' Twitter just in case, because I believe we might have some team news to talk about for the game against Team... No, we don't, sorry. It's 11 o'clock, but we don't quite yet. So we'll sit tight on that one and see if we get some team news imminently, which I'd imagine that we will. Again, guys, in the chat, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Around 70% of people, 75% of people that watch these streams and watch my videos aren't subscribed. There's going to be a lot more Tottenham content coming throughout the summer. If you're listening to this after the game, there will be a kind of a breakdown tomorrow. Again, I'll be doing a live stream on TikTok. I'll be doing those for all the preseason games. So, guys, go and show your support on TikTok as well. Team news, has it come out yet? Are we still waiting? Not quite yet. So we'll sit tight on that. We'll come back to team news very shortly for the game. But yeah, I don't see this, to be honest. I don't see Tottenham going in for Gallagher anymore. Again, never say never, but I'd be amazed if this would happen. Billy Price in the chat there says, imagine selling a boyhood fan and club captain and buying a bunch of random Brazilian players. Baffling. Yep, I totally agree with you, mate. I totally agree. Get a striker and a winger in, starting to get angsty. Well, let's talk about that then. So... where is it? Gary Jacob. Tottenham's immediate priority is to sign a forward. Obviously, this was kind of coming off the back of the Gallagher news. they kind of said that Spurs aren't really focusing on that right now. Their priority is to sign the forward. Let's just come back to that actually, because Gary Hunter, in the chat has just said the team has been revealed, and we'll go into that. Sorry, this is a bit all over the place, guys. Here we go then. Your Spurs side in Seoul: Vicario, way, Porro, way, Royale, way, Davis, way, Donnelly, way, Sarr, way, Gray, way, Bergvall, Kulusevski, Son, Johnson. So, let me just get this up in another tab as well, so I can sort of refer to what I predicted. Gray, Bergvall, and Sarr all starting in midfield for the first time. That is very exciting. That is very, very exciting. Archie Gray actually playing in midfield. Emerson Royale is not going to get cooked by Min Hyuk Yang. He's actually starting at centre-back. So Min Hyuk Yang So we got the news yesterday that Min Hyuk Yang will start against Tottenham. Obviously, I haven't seen their team confirmed, but that was confirmed yesterday, so we know that that's going to happen. So this is the team then. So how close were we in terms of the prediction? Not that close, actually. So this is the team. Very exciting midfield, this. Let's put Basuma on the bench. Let's put Dragusin on the bench. Let's put Davis to centre-back. Porro to right-back. Sort of right-back. Emerson. We weren't far away, guys. We weren't far away. We've got looks like maybe Sonny starting through the middle, if you believe what you read in terms of the team sheet. No Maddison. So that is Lucas Bergvall. That is a very exciting midfield, isn't it, lads? Son, Johnson, Kulusevski. This is what Spurs are saying. Is the team. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw... Oh, actually, we're missing a load of players here. Porro, Emerson at centre-back, Porro, and then Jamie Donnelly, who I want to talk about in a second, because he did a brilliant interview with Alistair Gold yesterday that I want to kind of touch on some great quotes from that. Jamie Donnelly in your pop, son. So that is the Tottenham Hotspur team to take on Team K-League this afternoon, or this lunchtime. It looks like Maddison's playing the second half. Maddison will be on the bench and will come on in the second half, it looks like. Again, it will be interesting to see whether it is actually something more like this. With Johnson on the right and Son on the left. But again, I think maybe more with that natural creative player in there in Bergvall, potentially. I think they might go with Sonny through the middle and Johnson and Kulu on the wings. But we shall see. Again, I think there's a lot of fluidity to this. I think this sort of front three, will be interchanging a lot. There'll be a lot of movement between those players. So that is the front three on paper, but I think it might be Kulusevski through the middle. But again, I think there'll be a lot of rotation. So that is the team, lads. And again, there'll be a live stream on my TikTok channel, which is here at just before 12 o'clock to watch the game. So Yang is in the starting lineup for Team K-League. Go and follow the TikTok to make sure you don't miss that. I'll put the link in the chat to my page just at the end of the stream. And yeah, lads, that is the team. So we've got to start from Jamie Donnelly. Before we move on to Donnelly, let's just go back to this then. Because this is what we were talking about before the news of the team broke. Bear with me 2 secs. Sorry. Tottenham's immediate priority is to sign a forward this summer. Again, it's not clear whether that's a centre forward, whether that is a winger, but that is seemingly the priority for Tottenham Hotspur this summer to get that next signing over the line. They want it to be a forward player, and it's going to be very interesting to see who that is. Again, do they see someone like Eberechi as more of a midfielder? Or do they see Eberechi as a potentially as that forward player? Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat then. Ash7 says Maddison hasn't been as effective in the first half so far, so maybe Ange wants to see him fresh in the second. Yeah, we saw that in the QPR game, didn't we? He came on at half-time. Darren Fearon says, Ben, I don't rate Son as a striker. His hold-up play is pants, especially when we play against teams that either press us or sit in. I think that's unfair to say to hold up players' pants. I think, we need different options up there. In terms of our centre forward, I think Sonny works for some games. I think Richie works. I think it's going to be Richie and Sonny. I don't think we're going to sign a striker. So I think that forward is going to be a winger or a versatile forward that can play across any of those positions. Archie Parker says, the source that revealed Spurs are keeping tabs on Osman is the same source that revealed we were first hijacking Archie Gray. Let's talk about that then. I don't think there's anything in this whatsoever, personally. Football League World. Tottenham have asked to be kept informed on the situation surrounding Victor Osimhen this summer. Again, I don't think there's necessarily anything factually maybe wrong about that. I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham have been asked to keep tabs on it, but I can't see this accelerating any further than that. Spurs are apparently willing to include various players in the deal to get someone like Victor Osimhen. I don't see that one personally, lads. But yeah, would you take Osimhen? I know that's maybe a mental thing to say. Probably, of course, you would. Again, Archie saying that is the source that broke the Archie Gray news. But again, there was a lot of rumours about Gray anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily say that this source is the most reliable. I don't know if it's Football Insider or Football League World. Football Insider is normally very poor. Jan Yanis says, do we have any expectations? Do we have any expectations on when we're going to move for that attacking player? I think it'll be as soon as they can. I think they obviously clearly want to. Maybe they're still assessing who's going to be the right option. So it's going to be interesting. 60 million plus Kulu. Kulusevski, I think we talked about Kulusevski in yesterday's stream. If you missed that, go back and watch it on the channel. It's in the little live tab on my page. Go and watch that. You can watch all the ones we've done back. Kind of just do these daily in the mornings in the week. Talking about transfer news, all the latest bits. And we just have a chat, really. And we talked about Kulusevski yesterday. I just think Kulusevski, for me, is way too important to even consider selling. And I know people have different opinions on Kulu. I know some people get frustrated with Kulusevski, but yeah, I don't see that personally, mate. I don't see that at all. Emerson wouldn't start if he was about to sign for Milan. So Milan, that looks like it's getting closer potentially. This was yesterday, so tomorrow could be the day an agreement between Tottenham and Milan could be reached for Emerson Royale contract schedule. Milan and Tottenham are now less than €2 million apart for Emerson. I still think this happens, but yeah, obviously Emerson is starting the game today. Let's have a look at that bench quickly. Anyone missing? Austin, Whiteman, Gunter, Spence, Abbott, Dragusin, Skip, Basuma, Hall, Devine, Madison, Moore, Solomon, Werner, Scarlett, Vlies, Lancashire. Yeah, no one really missing. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe Emerson isn't on the way out, but I think Emerson probably is. Again, with the Italian media, sometimes you just really don't know what to make of it. Sometimes in terms of the reliability of certain things. But yeah, so we shall see. We shall see what happens with Emerson. Let's go to the chat then. Stephen McCabe says, Richie out, please. I don't actively want Spurs to sell Richarlison, but I think if the right money comes in, the only thing is, let's talk about Richie actually, because just wanted to pull this up. That's just reminded me. There was something that Paul O'Keefe said yesterday about Richarlison that I just want to bring up. Also, I wonder what Paul O'Keefe actually does, right? Because his bio is professional services. Where's Richie? Here we go. Yeah, so this is it. So Richie, so Barney asked, Paul O'Keefe said, any Spurs sources know Fabrizio is right about us only making one more signing. Paul O'Keefe replied to that saying he's not saying one sign, he said one up front / attacker. Again, Paul O'Keefe didn't necessarily deny that, so maybe that is the plan. Jacko then replied, Paul, Song can't be our striker again this season. We need a striker for sure, way more than a winger. For this season, I hope we're getting 2 forwards at least. Paul said, doubt it unless Richie goes and he's not keen. He also said something about Richarlison and Saudi, which I don't think I can find. But I think he basically said that he's not necessarily keen on the move to Saudi, and he's not keen on leaving really. And again, Richarlison's kind of shut down any noise about leaving Spurs when he's been asked about it or on social media or anything like that. So we shall see what happens. Will Darren and Doing, go and subscribe to Darren and Doing. There's a new episode out yesterday. Go and subscribe to that. give Napoli, Højbjerg and Dyer plus 25 million for Emerson. Well, I think you're forgetting that Dyer is a Bayern Munich player. But I agree with the sentiment. And obviously Højbjerg is also gone. Richie isn't entertaining any Saudi offers, says Tui. Who else have we got here in the chat? Thanks for everyone so much for you guys getting involved. Like I said, you can super chat if you want to. Again, I'm not asking you to do that. And again, right, let's go to the chat. Archie Parker says, I reckon in 2 weeks we'll be all going all out for Eze if we haven't signed anyone. Again, they're not. I'd be very interested to know if they see Eze as a forward option or as a midfielder. So that would be interesting. I kind of think you're right. I think they might just end up potentially looking at paying that release clause. Matt Newman says, very rare I take to a Spurs content creator. Ali Gold and Flav are about the only ones I ever enjoyed. Happy to now have you and Spurs on Wrapped. Spurs on Wrapped are great, mate, on that list. Keep up the great content. Matt, I massively appreciate that, mate. To be kind of in... to kind of be in the names of those people. That me and Flav do a lot of stuff together. Obviously, I'm on the Fighting Cock a fair bit. Me and Flav do the lab together as well. We do a lot of pods on Patreon for the Fighting Cock as well. So, again, to kind of be in that company, as you're saying, is massively appreciated. And I love all of you guys, and thank you very much for watching. Look, I feel like a lot of kind of Spurs content creators don't necessarily portray the club in the best light sometimes. So I hope that I can do that and give you just insightful analysis, and we can have a nice conversation about things. That's all I want to do. Eze can play as a false nine, says Archie. Yeah, I actually, that was something, again, if you want to go on back, if you're new to the channel, my first video actually was this, why Spurs must sign a Eberechi Eze. And in that video, I talked about him potentially playing as a false nine. So, yeah, go and give that a watch. That was something that I brought up in there for sure. So, one forward coming in. Let me know in the chat. I want you to let me know. Get your comments in the chat now. If Spurs sign one forward this summer, who is that forward? Get the comments in. Get your comments in if you're watching this after the live stream. Let me know that one forward and get your comments in the chat as well now. One forward Spurs will sign this summer. I want you to let me know. Also, speaking of the transfer window, guys, again, jumping all over the place a little bit here. We're going to come on to some outgoings, etc. shortly because there has been some news there. Again, talking about the Flav and the lab, etc. The lab is back for season 2. Go and watch that. Yesterday, we did on JLA. Again, I'm going to be hosting all of the JLA spaces on Twitter for next season. Obviously, JLA, James Lawrence Alcott. He's doing some really cool stuff. We did a Transfer Royal Rumble space yesterday where we had one fan from every Premier League club get involved and chat about transfers. And the last man standing was actually an Arsenal fan, Alex Moneypenny. Hopefully, as I said in my tweet, that is the only trophy Arsenal win this year. But that was great fun yesterday. And again, thanks to your guys' kind of support and love, that's something I get to do. I get to host those spaces for next season. So there'll be Tottenham ones. There'll be ones after Tottenham games. So I want you guys to come in and get involved and speak. We want to get fans' opinions in there. And again, we did a Transfer Royal Rumble yesterday talking about transfers. So Damiao says Will Hester. Again, go and subscribe to Darren and Doing. The link is in the description. One forward. Tony, Jonathan David, Eze, Gyökeres, Eze. Tony says Billy Price. Left-footed winger. Neto says Sui. Tony says Stephen McCabe. Oaks Marley says... I'm sorry about that, mate. Just trying to be nice. Love you on the Fighting Cock. Thank you, mate. Tony, for me, I think Brentford will want to avoid him going on a free next year. 25 million, 30 million should do it. But do you guys... Right, okay, let's ask... I'm going to ask this in the chat then. Do you want... And again, get involved in the comments, guys, if you're watching this after the live stream. Do you want Tottenham's forward to be a striker or winger? Striker, winger. Okay. Let me know. There's a poll in the chat now. There's a poll in the chat. Do you want that Tottenham forward signing to be a striker or a winger? Let me know, guys. One forward signing, only one name, Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez kind of would, like, again, that's never going to happen, but I rate it because it's like, it would actually feel quite Spurs. Darwin Núñez, and then like an amazing player who just can't finish his dinner. Matt Newman says, feel like talk has gone very quiet on a centre-back of late, which is worrying. Can't be going into it with Davis as fourth choice and back up to Van der Ven again. Need that fourth option who competes with Mickey. I think you're right. It has gone quiet. I believe personally that I don't think we'll sign a centre back. I think that they will stick it out with Van der Ven, Romero, and Dragusin, and also I think they will see Archie Gray as a potential option there if they need to. I think Phillips will probably go on loan again. I think Ben Davis as well can play there. In an ideal world, yeah, maybe Spurs go and sign a centre back, but I think he's going to be someone that's going to have to be homegrown. I don't think there's many options out there. I think it's one for next summer. I think a centre back is one for next summer, unless it's a centre back that they feel that can maybe play in other positions at fullback as well. Obviously, with Reguilon going, we will potentially need fullback cover as well. At left back with a doggy, obviously Van der Ven can play there. It's going to be very interesting to see if Spurs do go out and sign another defender. But like you said, Matt, you are right. It has gone quiet. Makuku, yeah, I don't know a hell of a lot about him, but we need better depth winger. Don't want to rely on the likes of Solomon and Werner. I think Werner can be relied on as an option. I think Solomon kind of less so, if I'm being honest. I think Werner actually does suit the system more. Again, someone was just pointing out in the chat as well, we've got Vuskovic coming in next summer too, so don't forget about that. Bradley Locko, yeah, that'll be a good signing at fullback as well. Dorgu, yeah, again. Nunes and Werner will form a great partnership like the Chuckle Brothers. Dele Alli, Vuskovic coming in the summer, yeah. Rafinha. We need that dribbly winger so bad. Take on the man, bait a 2v1, leave the space for Son score. 100 tap-ins, though, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? Who is that dribbly winger then? Who is the guy that people want? At the moment, the poll, I'm going to end. Seb is live. Cool, man. What, on TikTok? Nice. Right, I'm going to end the poll there. So 66% of you said you want it to be a striker over a winger, which I find very interesting. I would probably say a winger over a striker, but again, I think I'm probably in that 33% with the winger guys. Let me know what you voted in the comments, and let me know what you voted in the chat as well. Hassan says, I really hope one of our youngsters gets ahead of Solomon in the pecking order. So let's talk about this then. Iago Santiago has left Tottenham. This is something that kind of, I think, caught a lot of people maybe by surprise. Iago Santiago has left Tottenham on a permanent deal. We've reached agreement with Spanish Segunda Division side Elche for the permanent transfer of Iago Santiago. Wishing you all the best. Again, this is something that kind of came a bit out of the blue. However, I can't remember whether I said this on one of my YouTube streams before, or maybe it was on a TikTok live stream about Santiago. It's very interesting because he was on the bench for the Hearts game and was, I think, maybe the only substitute that didn't get on the pitch. He wasn't then on the bench for the QPR game, and then he wasn't on the bench either for, what was the friendly after that? Well, he didn't go on tour. He didn't go on tour, did he? So that kind of sort of started to ring a little bit in terms of maybe there's something not quite right there. And obviously he did go away with the 21s and played in some of the friendlies for them, but yeah, the transfer kind of came out of the blue. And this is his statement, and this is the tweet from Windy that I saw yesterday that kind of I definitely agree with. Look, not every young player can make it. I think Iago's path to the first team is now currently being blocked by the likes of Mikey Moore as well, who's kind of obviously got in the ascendancy and kind of taken his spot, I think, in the pecking order in terms of those young, wide players. But I think last season, Iago Santiago was on the bench in the Premier League a few times. And I think that when you're looking at the fact that in certain games we were maybe playing Brian Hill, I think those minutes could have been used for someone like Santiago. Again, he never got to make his first team debut, but who knows really. So this is the statement he put out on Instagram. After 5 years representing this football club, it's time to say goodbye. It's been an amazing journey, learning and growing every day with great people next to me. I want to thank the academy to give me the opportunity when I was only 16, coaches, physios, teammates, all the staff involved. I will be forever grateful to the people who really helped me and trusted me during my period at Tottenham. And a big thank you to the fans for your unconditional support. I would have liked to have made my professional debut here. This is a really special club for me and my family, but I will keep all the moments and people in my heart. I hope success, luck, and all the best in the future, says Iago Santiago. So yeah, if you read Windy's tweet there, I kind of do resonate that with a little bit. I'm pleased for him. I'm pleased with him. I'm pleased for him that he's moved and he's going to get regular first team football. Obviously not in La Liga, but in the second tier in Spain. Pleased for Iago Santiago. I did more than enough last season to warrant a few minutes off the bench to see how he coped. I certainly agree with that. Especially in the absence of a player of his profile, I think that comes through in his post. The club should reflect on signing Solomon rather than playing Iago, and that is something that I probably do agree with. Did we really need to sign Solomon? And all of Hill's minutes at the end of the season should have gone to Iago too. Better to play a youth player who might not be good enough rather than a non-youth player who you know isn't. That is so true. So yeah, shame Iago's gone, but yeah, it's sometimes it just doesn't work out for some of these younger players. Speaking of young players, Heung-Min Son was asked about Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall yesterday. He said they're working really hard every single day to show. They want to show who they are. I think it's just a joy to watch, and both of them are working really hard. They just listen and want to learn. I think that's very important at this age because you hope those guys both have an amazing, bright future. So I'm always trying to help the two of them because they just came here to a new club and they probably need a little bit of help from me. Again, Sonny the leader, and we're going to come and talk about that in a moment with Jamie Donnelly's interview as well. And yeah, it's just a joy to watch every single day. They impress me with their attitude. They are young, but they can make a huge, huge impact for the team. I think that's very important now. These days, I think with this generation, I think age is not important. I think they should take a big responsibility, and that is what they do every single day. So if they do that in the game, I think I have no doubt that they will be very, very good. So let's see what happens this season. I hope they'll both be amazing players. Again, I think the attitude that's been displayed so far, especially from Archie Gray, and the way that Lucas Bergvall comes across as well. These are, are very bright young players for the future and for the now as well, in terms of getting really involved and wanting to knuckle down and prove to Tottenham fans and prove to the rest of the squad as well that these players are good enough to make an impact. So yeah, that was very refreshing to hear. Let's talk about, before we come on to JB Donnelly, I wanted to talk about this. Has everyone seen this? This was the Spurs players in open training yesterday, and they kept showing all the players on the big screen. This was Rally Dragusin. My word, he is handsome, isn't he, by the way? Wow. That face card is 10 out of 10. Pedro Porro there as well. Someone said, who's the first one in the comments there? This made me laugh. Look, you can see how embarrassed the players are. Davis wants to get out of the way. Archie Gray as well, having a good laugh. Jamie Donnelly there just looking serious in the background. Archie Gray's always got a smile on his face, isn't he? And then this is the best. I think it's Maddison up next, actually. What I'd love to know... what I would love to know is... I think this is Ange. Oh, it's Timo Werner. Ange is coming up in a sec. I think it's here. Yeah, I'd love to know what he's shaking his head at. And then he gives the smile. That made me die yesterday. That made me laugh so much. And I think that was it. Gray has a baby face. He does have a baby face. There's Archie Gray. Oh, God, let me turn that down. Seems like such a sweet, like, genuinely lovely kid. But I'd love to know what Ange... Right, let me know in the comments. What is Ange shaking his head at? There. Is he shaking his head at the fact that he's embarrassed about being on the big screen and then, gives in and gives the smile? Or is he shaking his head at, it's like, he's like, no way I'm doing that, and then quickly changes his mind? Or is it that he's just seen Timo Werner put one over the bar in training? I want to know. That was training in the Seoul World Cup Stadium, actually, yesterday. And that is the venue for the game as well. Beautiful stadium. Beautiful stadium. I think is that where David Seaman got lobbed by Ronaldinho? Might be. Indeed. Right. What should we come on to next? Let's talk about... this is something we missed earlier. When we were talking about I found the quote I was talking about. Right, so when we were talking about Richie, sorry, this is jumping back all over the place. I do apologise. So, Paul O'Keefe, again, deep thread bomber yesterday morning. He replied to a tweet saying, "I'm still being told it'll be 3 signings." He then replied saying, "Do you think we'll prioritise a striker for the attacking position instead of a wide winger?" And he said, "Not sure, to be honest. I think if Richie went, then we'd get both, but he's not keen on Saudi." And again, that makes me think that the forward signing is going to be a winger, because I think from what Paul O'Keefe is alluding to, I think if Richie went, then we'd get both. So if Richie went, they'd replace him with a striker. I don't see them maybe signing another striker. Yeah. So that is what I was looking for earlier. Quickly on strikers, again, this might sort of, what happens with strikers might depend on what happens with this. So Will Lancashire, Tottenham will review loan options that arise for Will Lancashire, with interest already registered from the Championship, League One and European sides. Harry Brooks said this the other day. I think out of all of those options, a European side is 100% the best. I think there is a risk that if Will Lancashire goes to the Championship, unless it's a top club that wants to play football, I think there's a risk of him becoming a bit of a bully boy because he's already very physically developed. I think there is that risk that he might become that bit of a bully because he's very physically developed already, when his game is already, and his potential is so much more than that. Like, so much more than that. His movement is so great. I think he's such a clever player. I don't want to see him go to the Championship or League One and get and just become a bit of a battering ram, a bit of a bully. I don't want to see that for Will. I want to see him go to a European side that is maybe going to play to his strengths. It kind of worked for Parrott, really. I know, obviously, they got relegated, but I think it'd be a great experience for him. If not, I think I'd keep him. I think it's European loan or keep. Let's put a poll in the chat, see what you guys think. Will Lancashire, keep or loan? Keep. Again, guys, we're gonna do a stream. I think next week, sort of doing a big squad building exercise for Tottenham. We can do a keep or sell as well if you want. Maybe a video on that. Scarlett played about 1 second as our backup last season when Richie was injured. Why will Lancashire play as our third? More games in it, mate. More games. Europe, more games. Dutch or Belgian league would be great. Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I do agree with that. Let me just check what's going on Twitter while you guys vote in the poll. Looks like Wan-Bissaka is going to West Ham. So yeah, as Travis says here, Sarr, Bergvall, Gray, midfield, Kulu dropping in to link as a 9. Wow. I love it. Travis is great, by the way. Go and show Travis some love. Go and check out everything on Lily White Lab. And again, speaking of Lily White Lab, they tweeted this the other day. These 3 will move mountains for us, and all 3 start in midfield. Wowza Rooney, baby. Don't know why I said that. That was cringe. Right, folks. What should we talk about now? So let's just check the poll quickly. Let's just check the results of the poll. Again, make sure you subscribe, guys. Make sure you subscribe. You can get your super chats in as well. Like I said, I'm very, very grateful for all of you guys, because this is my life now. This is my job, getting to do this. So, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys kind of just supporting me, etc. Where are we? Sorry, they loaned to where Parrott just left. Maybe, yeah. Excelsior Academy review video, that could be a good idea. Gollum, how would you want to see that? What, in terms of format, what are you saying? And again, guys, in the chat, let me know like what videos you want to see. People in the comments after this video as well, let me know what videos you want to see on the channel, and I will, like a postman, I will deliver them for you. If he gets playing time on loan rather than sitting on the bench. I think with Europe, if he does stay, again, I'm not saying staying is definitely the right option for Will, but I think there'll be more options for him maybe than there were last year. There would have been last year, sorry. From what I've seen in open training and games in pre-season, Bissouma looks really sharp. Yes, I totally agree. I think Bissouma's been really impressive in pre-season so far. I've got 105 people watching this right now. Thank you. Big up yourselves. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already as well. We're on the march to 2K. Did you see Brian Hill lost 4-0 in his debut today? No. I didn't. I think Lancashire can be good enough for Europa. I agree. I actually do agree. Loan to Westerlo, go and play with Vuskovic. I like that. I think Will could be a good striker in the Europa League, especially in those group games. I think he can. I think his movement's really good. And again, I think there's less pressure for these attacking players now because we actually play front foot attacking football not everything is so reliant on Harry Kane. Like, if you took Harry Kane out of that team, you totally have to change the way you play. Whereas now, whether it's Mikey Moore, whether it's Will Lancashire, whether some of these other younger attacking players, I do think that it's easier for them to make that step up now. I talked about that in a TikTok video that we went through yesterday that I made, and I talked about that on the lab with Flav as well, so go and check that out. I'm so happy our games aren't played in the middle of the night like Arsenal. I know, this has been amazing. This has been great for me in terms of, like, a content point of view. I've actually been able to talk about the games and talk about it with people rather than just staying up on my ones in the middle of the night. Id O'Neill says, I'm afraid Ange won't give chances to players that deserve the chances. I disagree with that. I think someone made a great point the other day, and I think that we said at the time, I think it might have been Windy actually, at the time, that Newcastle friendly seemed incredibly pointless, right? But maybe where he played so much of the youth in that game, maybe he realised and looked at them and thought, okay, these kids are actually ready. Again, it was kind of playing in Newcastle against Newcastle's kids in the second half. But no, I think I disagree, man. I think Ange will give these players chances. Sorry, mate. How do you pronounce your name? Tyui. I think Will could do the job, but a constant run would be super helpful. Then you end up with a question mark for Scarlett. Yeah, I think Scarlett will be loaned out regardless, personally, mate. We'll see what happens. Troops, like the stream. Only 29 likes, but 100 watching. Yeah, like the stream, guys. Like and subscribe. That would be massively appreciated. I hate asking and I don't want to come across like I'm begging you guys to do stuff or anything, but it just massively helps me out. It just does. It's just a click of a button that massively helps me. So, more than you believe. It was Windy who said that. That was it. I think someone tweeted it to Windy, right? Gollum 555 for the academy video. Maybe rating the potential and where all the players will end up. That's a great idea, actually. I'm just gonna copy that and make a note of that. Great stuff, mate. Let me just put that in my notes. Actually, I'm just going to send it to Will. There is going to be a video as well on the channel today, guys. We're going to be doing a tier list, ranking every Spurs transfer rumour. So stick around for that one. The poll is literally, that's probably a good place to end it. Can someone swing it the other way? Can we get a swing on the poll? It's currently 50-50 between whether we should keep Will Lancashire or loan him. Collab with Invert the Wing. Oh, my word. Liking is free. Exactly, guys. Liking is free. Make sure you like. We did Prem Predictions video. Yes, mate. That's coming on Friday, I believe. I've also done one with Jacob Horsfall. Right, there we go. Keep has won it. 51%. 51%. We had 47 votes. Will Lancashire keep or loan? Keep 51%. Okay. Right, let's wrap this up then in the next few minutes because I've got to go and do the stream on TikTok again. Make sure you come join me over there. Let's talk about Jamie Donnelly's quotes. So Jamie Donnelly did a brilliant interview with Alistair Gold. He said, I will play wherever the manager wants. Obviously, he's been playing at left back. He's playing at left back again today or yesterday or whenever you're watching this. Hopefully, he did play well like he has been doing. I'll play wherever the manager wants me to. I'm still young, so I'm learning different positions. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And if he wants me to play that, I will play. Then he said about Mikey Moore, he's a special player, which obviously we all know that by now. He said he's a special player. He's obviously just got to keep his head down and keep working. But if he keeps going the way he's going, he'll be a special player. Again, Jamie Donnelly's just over 2 years older than Mikey Moore. So that is so encouraging for our future. Again, he was talking about Sonny, the captain and the leader. He said he's an unbelievable captain in the way he helps all the young boys and especially the new boys as well on the pitch. He's a leader. He does everything to the best of his ability. And then he was talking about Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall. Gary, this is you, my friend, who picked this quote out. He said, I think that's just the way football is. People are going to be buying players and it's for me to push harder and try and get ahead of them. Love that kind of mentality. Then when I get ahead of them, stay ahead of them because that's just the way the game is. Shows there's a lot of good competition between the young players in this squad. So, yeah, and again, Jamie Donnelly is going to be playing at left back today. Let me just get rid of that. Let's go to the chat. Keep Will, yeah. Louis Alexander, great to see a Spurs YouTuber who knows ball and has some good tactical analysis. Good on you. Thank you very much, Louis. And if you like it that much, drop the video a like and drop a subscribe. But speaking of tactical analysis, there is going to be a breakdown of today's game on the channel tomorrow. We will stream that live. We'll probably replace that stream, this stream that we do, with that. So there won't be, unless something major happens, there probably won't be this kind of stream tomorrow, but there will be a live stream in which we break down the game. So stick around for that one. Better than the negative stuff you're on normally. Appreciate that, mate. Archie Parker says, realistically, Donnelly won't get an arm midfield, so playing at left back is a very good option as they play as attacking midfielders anyway. Yeah, not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. But yeah, this is how Spurs set up today. And how I want to end the stream, you'll notice that I've kind of set us up in a 2-3-5 shape. Because yesterday, Alistair Gold wrote this piece. Here are 5 things I spotted in Spurs' training session today in South Korea, including a funny Ange Postecoglou moment, a cheeky Archie Gray exchange, some potential team hints for tomorrow, and who was involved and who wasn't. Where was it? Sorry. So yesterday, Gray was training with the midfield. It looks like, where's the tweet gone from Nathan? Oh, there's Mickey van der Ven on holiday. What a dish. Most handsome centre-back back line in the Prem. Let me just get up the tweet that I was looking at. So one of the things that Nathan Clark plucked out from that was after that they played a congested match of 11 versus 11, albeit weighted towards the attack in 3-2-5 formations to create the overloads. And again, Nathan kind of providing us with some quality content in terms of examples of what that could look like for the next season. Again, we talked about Kulusevski and what he was saying about Spurs, and in training, kind of really drilling in the way that we want to play, and some tactical aspects to make us more solid and more consistent. And I think this does that. As Nathan says there, the 6 dropping in would appear to suit Gray's skill sets based on pre-season so far. Again, some examples here. Adogi and Porro / Sarr kind of as more of those central midfielders there in the build-up. And then again, Romero and Sarr tucking into that back 3, allowing Adogi to sort of go on. And again, in that sort of 2-5-3 shape, it could look something like this today, with Gray dropping in. Kind of Davis more as that centre-back, kind of create that back 3 here. Sort of how, yeah, as the three and then the 2. And I'd imagine it will be almost more like this, because you'll have, I think it will be this. I think Kulusevski will play there. I think Johnson will play there. Sonny out on the left. And I think it will be something more like this. So that will kind of be how it looks like almost in build-up. And I think you'll have Bergvall and Donnelly kind of creating that box there. And Johnson and Sonny allowed to get up and down. And you've got Kulusevski kind of dropping in there as almost that more false 9 as well. Again, it's probably more likely to be this. And then have Sarr there as that runner. As one of those number 10s. Or more advanced kind of 8s. And then what that looks like in terms of getting into the opposition. Final third. It's probably more like this, I'd say. Emerson there, and then Archie Gray kind of as that central centre-back. I think it looks probably more something like this today. So I'm very, very intrigued by this game. We've got Bergvall, we've got Sarr, and we've got Archie Gray all starting in midfield together today. And again, Gray can sort of come in here as well. Bergvall can then go and be the one that gets it off the centre-backs. So I'm very, very excited for today's game. Very, very excited. There is going to be a live stream on my TikTok page. And come and join me over there, guys. Come and join me over there. Let's quickly go to the chat before we end the stream. Did you see Van der Ven got ranked 50th best looking footballer in the world? That is a robbery. My ideal window is keeping Richie, getting a decent left-sided centre-back. What is just his cover? Getting Jonathan David and getting a right wing that's got working knees. Have you seen the news about Champions League draw being done by software? We don't need to worry about that Champions League nonsense. It was a typo from Ali Goldie, meant to say 2-3-5. But again, well, that is kind of a 2-3-5. Anyway. But again, naturally, even with the 2-3-5, you're gonna have one of the midfielders drop into centre back. That is gonna happen. So there's not much difference between a 3-2-5 and a 2-3-5, mate. To be fair, I think we should sell Bentancur. I've not missed in pre-season. Wow, that's a bold shout. Gray playing centre back in pre-season makes loads of sense if that's how we play moving forward. Yeah, that's a very good point, Jack. How do you think we'll start our midfield against Leicester? That's probably one to get into in another stream, mate. Because I'm going to end it there. Because I'm going to head over to my TikTok page. Guys, come and join me over there. Come and join me over there. Bear with me 2 secs. Yeah, come and join me over on TikTok. Here, Ben Bowman, Ben Talks Football. Come and join me over there for the live stream for Tottenham against Team K-League. We'll be live for the entire game. I'll be doing videos on there afterwards, so you'll get to hear my post-match thoughts on TikTok. Again, lads, just a plug for the YouTube channel, which you're watching this on. Please go and subscribe. That'd be massively, massively, massively appreciated. I've massively appreciated all of your guys' support so far. And again, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos and you're showing me that through the love. So if you could just go and click the button, click the subscribe button, that'd be massively appreciated. There will be a video, like I said, tomorrow on the channel. Will be a live stream tomorrow on the channel breaking down the game and what we learned from the game today. That'll be tomorrow. The lives will continue. There'll be a video on the channel later on today. Tier list ranking all of Tottenham's transfer targets this summer and the transfer rumours. A little shout out as well for the second TikTok channel, trying to grow that again, some more polished content over there, trying to get that one to 10k followers. We're on, the mission is a long one, but we will get there. And again, little plug for the Twitter guys as well. Go and follow me over there to hear me yapping more Spurs stuff. Guys, thank you all so much for watching and getting involved in the stream. Hopefully Yang drops a masterclass on Emerson, not Porro. Yeah, I agree with that. We're about to see Heung-Min kind of Tottenham debut, more like a Tottenham audition. We'll get to see what we're going to learn from him. Guys, massively appreciate all the love and support on the videos. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you're watching this afterwards, get some comments in. Let me know what you thought about some of the stuff I've said. I'll get in there and chat with you guys on there. Come and join me over on TikTok. I'm going to put a link out on Twitter. So head over to my Twitter, head over to my TikTok to come and join me. Guys, up the bloody Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.